In today's episode, I'm going to change my oil on my 2006 Harley Davidson Fat Boy, known as the Blue Ghost, brother. Let's get to it. So here are my tools for the job. I've got Sin 3 4 quarts. I've got my oil filter remover. I think both of those will actually work. I had two of them, so just checking them out. I'm going to put in a new drain plug because I think the other one's it's marred up a little bit, so I just went and got a different drain plug. These right here to peel my O-rings off if I need it to. Seeing how this one's already got an O-ring on it. It's got a little thread lock on it. I'm going to take this thread sealant, that's high temperature thread sealant, and put that on as well. I got some shop towels, and I've got my torch right here. I have my Super Premium 5 black oil filter from Harley Davidson. I have this little gadget right here that's supposed to fit underneath the oil filter. The oil filter is right here. The issue that I tend to run into is when I put this under here, then I think it becomes difficult for me to put the cap on, and that's as far as that goes. I'm probably going to have to Dremel this down at some point one day, but for now, I'm just going to try to put it here, unscrew it, and then push this up as fast as possible to catch as much oil to prevent oil from dripping all over the frame. Alright, so here we go. There we go, it moved. It moved again. There we go. Jeez, Lord. There we go. There we go. Alright. Hand me the towels over there, the towels. Okay. So, you see where it caught most of it. I got most of it to drain out right here. I'm going to put this inside of here, and then I'll just clean all this out. You got all this in there?
Yeah, I got all of it.
Okay. You want to see this?
Do you need me?
Yes, sir.
Still?
All right. That right there looks good. I've got most of the oil cleaned up.
Hold on.
So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take this and move it around to the back side. I'll release the drain plug. So underneath right here, there's a drain plug right about right here. And the head of it looks like this. I'm going to take this 3/8 with a 5/8 socket right here, and that'll get out the plug that's inside of there, so I can put that brand new plug in. I'm going to take the one that's in there out, and I'm going to put this brand new one in. Okay, now can you get on the ground right here?
Yeah.
Can you get this little thing inside of there? Ooh. Ooh, that broke loose easy. It's about to start pouring out. Hopefully it all looks good. Alright. Here we go. Actually doesn't look terrible. But I'm going to put the new one in anyways. That O-ring doesn't look great. It's a little crimped up right here. I don't know if you can see that. This looks good. There's not any shavings inside of the oil. So I'm going to actually sit the bike up straight. And I'm going to run just a quarter of a quart through here once this stops draining. Just to help clean out some of the old oil. So I'm going to clean out this one more time right here. Just from where it's leaking. Here's the new oil filter. And the key to this is you want to take just a little bit of oil and rub it around here. We already checked to make sure that we don't get a double gasket. So with this oil around the gasket right here, and we make sure that we don't have a gasket on there. It was definitely on the old oil filter. Here's the old filter. You see the gasket was on there. We've got the oil on the new filter. We want to put it on here and do hand tight threads because we don't want to mess the threads up on anything ever. So we go hand tight, and then the Harley Davidson manual, I believe it's a half a turn, quarter of a turn or something like that. After you go hand tight. My hands are a little oily, so all right, there we go. One. That's it right there. That should be the one. So the oil has stopped draining, and now I'm just going to run a little bit of new fresh oil through there. That's a little less than half a quart. As you can see, that fresh oil is coming back out. So when that stops draining, I'll put the new plug in. Let's match the plugs up, make sure that they actually are the same. The plugs are exactly the same. One of them just looks a little nicer than the other. So on the new drain plug, just a smidge. Move that around. The white high temperature thread sealer is all the way around. Not so much that it's going to get into the oil or anything. So I'm always going to recommend that when you're changing your oil, look at this right here. This is what's left of that O-ring. I'm always going to recommend that you take, look at that, all the stuff that's coming out here. You take a towel or something and you just kind of rub it on the outside. Just look at all the gunk that's coming off of that, and you don't want that messing around in your engine. Look at that. More of it coming off right there. That's that old thread sealer. It's something that the old Harley Davidson mechanic told me. Look at that, still coming out of there. He said it's much easier if you're on a lift, but you just kind of rub it around in there until that old thread sealer stops coming out. That's the stuff you just don't want inside of there. Alright. We also ran a little bit of oil through there. Now, On the Harley Davidson owner's manual, it states that you need 16 to 18 foot-pounds of torque is ideal for the drain plug. So I've got it set right at 16. There it goes. So again, let me show you why it's important that you clean out the threads inside the plug as well, because that right there was sitting in there. If I would have just taken the drain plug and run it in there, that would have shoved all that up inside the engine. So I cleaned it out. Got this extra stuff out of there so it doesn't do any harm to the engine. Here's the thing. Maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't. I'm just not going to take that chance, if you feel me. Now I'm going to put in 3 quarts of this Sin 3. Okay, here's the 3rd quart. Now what I'm going to do after this 3rd quart is I'm going to check the oil and then make sure that it's at the full line, see if I have to add any more. And then I'll start it, let it run for just a minute or 2, and then I'll check it again. All right, it's all dried off. Here we go. Coming out of the filter. All right, here we go. No oil coming out of the filter. Everything looks good and tight. Nothing around here. Nothing seeping out of here. Alright, no oil's leaking, so I'm going to just let it sit and run for about a minute or 2, and then I'm going to check that oil again after everything cycles through. Okay, let's give it a check. Alright, dry as a bone. Here we go. Can you see that? Right on that full line right there. I'm going to run it down the road real quick, and then I'm going to come back and check the oil, and then I'm going to check for leaks. Okay, I just went down the road. Nothing's leaking, seeping, dripping, or anything like that. Everything's tight. Everything's sealed up well. What I'm going to do now is check that dipstick one final time. Alright, here it is, guys. I don't know if you can see it, but it is right on the money, and it's hot. It's right on the hot fill line, which, hold on a sec, I can't, let's see if I can, it's right there on the hot fill line. It's perfect. Let me turn it, maybe you guys can, there you go, you can see it right there. I appreciate you watching today's episode. In no way is this a how-to video. I am not a professional mechanic. I am a YouTube mechanic because I got my education off of YouTube and by talking to a couple of Harley Davidson technicians, and they kind of gave me an idea of, hey, what to do, what to stay around. And then I downloaded all of the torque specs and all of the information. I downloaded my manual for the 2006 Harley Davidson Fat Boy online. Actually, someone gave it to me in my Discord. If you're interested in being a part of my Discord, shoot me a message over to Instagram. I'll put that right here or somewhere like that. But I do appreciate you watching today's episode. If you have not already, hit that like button. Please consider subscribing to the channel. In OMG Nation, keep it old school. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Stall.
So guys, if you haven't watched the focus, then that won't
Say bye, Hardy.
Bye, Hardy.
Oh, this is recorded, by the way.
I didn't think it wasn't recorded.
Okay. Just checking.